Hello, from Deadline headquarters in Nairobi, Kenya, I'm Nema Atieno. Thank you for joining us at Vets from Kenya and around the world to Deadline News Today, where we share with you what's new and trending on arts and culture, health, economics and education. On to our top stories today. Underweight youth turned away in KDF recruitment. Most young men and women who turned up for Kenya Defence Forces recruitment at Mkomani Shogun in Nyali were turned away for being underweight. At least 50 recruits who showed up had not attained the recommended weight of 54.5 kilograms for men and 50 kilograms for women. House team plots to eject Kosing as chair. Members of the National Assembly Committee on Transport have now resolved to impeach their chairman, Pokot South MP David Kosing. The 11 MPs wrote down to the National Assembly clerk Michael Sialai, informing him of their intention to have him ejected on grounds of alleged incompetence. United States economy to rise. Slowing global growth may lessen the threat of rising rates of the United States economy. The Fed has pressed ahead with rate increases as the economy has strengthened this year. The growth of several big economies has slowed recently, and American growth is expected to rise next year as the tax cuts enacted last year wears off. Due to the slowing economic growth globally, United States economy is gradually increasing as the tax that was enacted last year slowly wears off. Let's take a look at the situation in Kenya, where early this year, the government increased the tax in order to pay for the pending international loans. This brought a lot of distress within the Kenyan economy and also within the Kenyan citizens. You can join in the conversation on my Twitter handle at Nema Atieno and on Facebook at Nema Atieno. I can see some of your comments streaming in on my Twitter handle. At Kavai, she is saying that, indeed our leaders have been borrowing from the international countries and it is high time they thought of applying to pay back. And now we have our senior correspondent Winnie Moseti with the feature. Take a look.
Kenya's economy has been deteriorating. Consumer prices fell 0.79% over the previous month in October, contrasting a 1.02% month-on-month increase in September. The downturn was spearheaded by a decline in the prices of food and non-alcoholic beverages, partially offset by a sharp rise in communication costs. Meanwhile, prices for education remained stable from the previous month. Inflation edged down in October from September. Although moderating from the previous month, inflation was kept elevated by a steep rise in fuel and transport costs. Nonetheless, it remained within the central bank's medium-term target range of 2.5 to 7.5%. According to the World Bank's biannual report, gross domestic product growth in Kenya will increase to 5.8% in 2019 and could rise to 6% by 2020. The bank notes that economic headwinds in 2017 adversely impacted manufacturing. After a prolonged drought and lower credit to the private sector last year, East Africa is projected to grow by 6.1% this year thanks to a rebound in agriculture due to favorable weather and a rise in private sector growth. I got to talk to some citizens and this is what they said.
So, unemployment rate right now stands at almost 40%. So by the time we're finishing school, that is probably, for me, 2020 or 2019, it basically just means the chances of getting a job will be so low, and I'll probably have to create my own job. And that sucks, because I mean, we're getting education for, it just simply means you're getting education for nothing. Yeah? And also the fact that our leaders keep borrowing money and debts keep accumulating, and so I'm guessing in 2020 everyone will be having a debt of, I don't know, 250k per person in Kenya, and that just sucks. And not just as financially, but also the fact that the opportunities that we're supposed to be getting are not even there anymore. They just keep being fewer and fewer, and at some point I think we're gonna reach, and then we'll still, I mean, 50 years from now we'll still be fighting the same problems as we are right now. Yeah.
So the economy of Kenya, it's like deteriorating. As much as job opportunities are being created, it's basically not helping the common mwananchi, because the like Kenya has been borrowing so much money, but this money is almost creating self-employment to what do we call this? Technology. There is an estimate of about 40% of the jobs that are being done manually right now in like 2025 will be done by computers. It's what Kenya is investing on, better infrastructure and everything. Yet this better infrastructure is literally stealing our jobs. So the graduates, me who will be the graduate very soon, will have nowhere to go looking for a job because some computer is doing my job. As much as we want to raise our economy, we only raise our economy through education and hard work. And literally education is not helping because we have infrastructure replacing education. So in the near future, we won't be able to sustain ourselves. Our means of livelihoods won't be able to be sustained because literally we are creating jobs for robots. We are not creating jobs for us. So I think this economy will just keep on going lower and lower. Yeah.
Reporting for Deadline News, I'm Winnie Mosati.
I am not joined live by our correspondent. Winnie, if you can hear me, can you tell us more on what you found and what is your opinion on our topic of discussion?
Well, thank you so much, Neema. Well, earlier on, I talked to some of the students who say that the economy of Kenya indeed is deteriorating. And this is because the country keeps on borrowing funds, which makes it difficult for the government to pay this debt, which has led to job unemployment in the country. Well, my opinion is that it is true indeed that the Kenyan economy rather has deteriorated in the past few months. So in my opinion, the Kenyan government should at least lower the rate of borrowing the country from other countries like China, the United States of America, and invest more into the counties, into the county governments to create job opportunities for the youth in Kenya. Back to you, Neema.
Let's keep the conversation ongoing on my social media handles. At Paul Archie Oyomo on Facebook, she is saying that it is so sad, as much as we as a country we keep borrowing a lot of money from countries like China, which keep on accumulating. We have guests with us who will help us dissect more on this topic of discussion. I am joined live by Mr. Waweru, an economic lecturer, Ms. Faith Kip-Korir, an entrepreneur, and Mr. Clinton Mudea, a businessman. Welcome to the show. The first question, Mr. Waweru, what do you think are the factors that undermine the economic development in Kenya?
There are quite a number of factors, but the key one presently, and I think we have been told over and over again, is corruption. Then coupled with poor leadership, and not just at the level of presidency, but you can tell the people we put in power have no interest in furthering the common interests of Mwananchi. They are there for themselves. Is it this week when they were saying they want to come up with a bill that will circumvent the interest of salaries and the remuneration commission, so that they can be awarding themselves whatever they want, and that sounds very funny. Eh? It's not right. I see those two as the most serious. Of course, the way we have gone borrowing is also worrying and can hinder progress or development.
To you, Ms. Kip-Korir, how does the economy affect your business?
The government has imposed tax simply because of the borrowing and the debt that we have, and this has really affected my business in such a way in such a way that importing now is becoming very expensive, and you have to pay a lot of taxes, which has slowed down my business. And because I can't sell as much as I used to sell before, the business is just bad.
And what is your opinion on the tax that is to be imposed on small-scale businesses from next year?
These taxes will ruin the common mananchi. It will ruin the innovative part of the common person who is trying at all costs to meet his ends. These taxes will demoralize their efforts, because they have to pay taxes that they can't even achieve, or their businesses they will run at a loss.
To you, Mr. Mudea, how does the economy affect your business?
Basically, the economy, it affects my business negatively at a higher percentage. First, to start your business, you need licenses. About the licenses, music license, KFCB license, the county council license. So all these licenses, you have to take them in for about 50,000 shillings, and they run for a whole year.
This brings us to the end of the Opinion Leader segment. Thank you all for coming to the show. I will read one more comment on Facebook at Faith Nathans. She is saying that the government should reduce the rate at which they are borrowing loans and invest more within the country. This brings us to the end of Deadline News today. Thank you for tuning in to Deadline News. Join me next week at the same time, same place. I was your host, Nema Atieno. Goodbye.